Hi, I'm Kayla Kilgore, and this is my informative speech. And here are my audience members. My sister, my mom. Have you ever seen a child act out in public that makes you think, really? Who's parenting that child? There might be many ideas going through your mind, but the one that sticks out to me is, I wonder if that child has a disability. The thoughts that go through my mind are, I want to figure out that child. I want to be able to help these parents understand their child. These many thoughts have come to my mind after many years of being a paraprofessional within Lincoln Public Schools, integrated learning program here in Omaha, and babysitting for 12 years. I sometimes think I've seen it all, but there might be many disabilities and behaviors that I will address to you that may help you out in your future if you might struggle with behavioral issues with your own child. We first need to recognize what a behavioral disorder is defined as. We need to find out what some of the behavioral disorders are. We need to know the symptoms to look for. And last but not least, we need to figure out how to therapeutically help the child. According to mentalhealth.gov, behavioral disorders involve a pattern of disruptive behaviors in children that lasts for at least 6 months and cause problems in school, at home, and in social situations. Behavioral disorders are a very broad term, though, because there are many different types. A few examples of this disorder would be autism, Asperger's, ADHD, developmentally delayed, and much more. As these are only a few examples, there are many more that could be talked about. Autism is in a group of developmental disabilities which is called the autism spectrum disorder. According to WebMD.com, these disorders involve delays in the development of many basic skills, including socialization or having relationships with others and to communicate effectively. Children may also have intellectual disabilities and behavioral challenges as well. The symptoms for autism include problems with verbal communication, as in understanding language. The child might not be able to have a conversation, even when they are able to. Some children can't keep eye contact with the person they are talking to, known as nonverbal communication. Many autistic children would rather play alone because they lack the skills to have a conversation with other children. The child may also have issues at night and or adjusting to a different routine. A couple other major signs that I have picked up on my own are different body movements, such as spinning around, holding a remote for comfort, or flapping their hands. According to UNL.edu, autism can co-occur with other disabilities. ADHD is another common behavioral disorder. WebMD states, children with ADHD show signs of inattention, hyperactivity, and or impulsivity in different ways. Some symptoms you can look for with ADHD are constant motion, squirmy and fidgety, you don't feel like they're listening, they have trouble playing quietly, they talk excessively, interrupt others, they're easily distracted, and last but not least, do not finish the task at hand. We have talked of only a couple types of behavioral disorders, but now we need to discuss how to help the child and the parent get through the disability so that they can reach their fullest potential. As for helping a child with autism, there is no cure. According to WebMD.com, there is a treatment that may allow relatively normal development in the child and reduce undesirable behaviors. There are options, though, for treatment that include special education, physical or occupational therapy, which helps with language since most children with autism suffer a language barrier. As for treatment for children with ADHD, there are many different other options like you have for autism. WebMD again gives great information of the treatment overview. A plan that would include special education, psychological intervention, and drug treatment. Studies have shown that long-term treatment with the combination of medications and behavioral therapy is much better than just medication treatment. Therefore, special education and the medicine coexist together, making the child be able to succeed within school and in life. This is just a start of what could be discussed with behavioral disabilities. There are many disabilities within the world, but I touched base on a couple behaviors that I have personally dealt with most while being a babysitter and a paraprofessional. It can be scary, though, to think that after you just had a child that it could have a disability. One can never be prepared enough for what is to come. It is important to educate yourself if your child does display symptoms of a disability. Now that you know what a behavioral disorder is defined as, some examples of the disorder, symptoms to look for, and how to treat a child, as well as helping the parent, I hope that you can take this information that I have given you and use it to treat your child, or maybe even use it in the professional world as a paraprofessional or as a teacher.